Hey there, happy day 1093 of What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting my journey as I transition from the brick and mortar world to the online world of business. And I kind of like this sparkly filter today. I'm testing out, this is a page I can test out different filters and things. So if my head gets giant, like it seems to on about 7 or 8 of the different filters, and it creeps me out every time because it looks normal, and then after about a second, or maybe it's partial second, it flips into like my head is giant and fills the whole screen. And I'm like, at my age, I don't want my head to be giant and fill the whole screen. So I kind of like this one. It's a little sparkly, and I like sparkles. Ever since I've been hanging out with my granddaughter, I like sparkles a lot. Sparkles are fun, and glitter and things like that. So lots of times I'll have sparkly nails. These are called cat eye. They're gold cat eye. They're kind of pretty. So what are we going to talk about today? Practice. I want to talk about practice and practice moves. Do you practice things? Do you just jump in with both feet and do something and see what kind of results you get? Very few people do that, but I personally think that's an amazing way to be because you get results faster. Do you sometimes crash and burn? Absolutely, but do you get results faster than people that think about and commiserate and worry and doubt and wonder and have to learn everything before they take a single action? Now, normally I didn't think that I was that way, but when I went from the offline world to the online world, I realized that I fell into that learning loop trap where I felt like I had to learn this and then that and then this and then another thing and another thing and another thing before I could actually do anything or put anything out there into the online world. And I lost probably a year of time doing that. All of 2017, that's pretty much all I did. Now I had some health challenges there too, so I could make excuses, but I'm not going to. The truth is, 2017 was a whole year of pretty much just learning, finding something else to learn, and then learning that, and then finding something else to learn. And I didn't, I know I launched a few things and put a few feelers and things out there, but not hardly anything. Not hardly anything that I would look back on and consider a success. A success in that I actually put it out there, but not a success in terms of what I wanted to accomplish with the thing I put out versus the results that I got with the thing I put out. So practice moves. Do you practice? And practice is just actually doing something, right? And when we're practicing something, we're doing that thing. If I want to learn how to play tennis, I can read some books, I can watch some videos, but until I get my tennis shoes on, my racket out, my balls, which I don't play tennis anymore since my vision's gone, but it used to be one of my favorite things to do because I could bang things against, I could hit things hard and I could bang things. So if I was ever frustrated, and I'm sure as a kid I was frustrated, I would just go, I'd hit balls against the backboard or against the barn. And we had a giant old barn door that had, the boards across it. So what was cool about practicing on that is you'd hit the ball, but you, depending on where you hit the barn door, you weren't exactly sure where it was going to go. So it was actually really good practice for tennis. So that actually helped me to become a better tennis player because I practiced every day, and I practiced, not only with other people, but actually with things and circumstances that would make me quicker, better, faster. We have to practice anything and everything that it is that we want to do or be good at or achieve. Even people that have a natural talent and natural ability toward art or science or music or anything, they still practice their art. They still practice and do the thing it is that they want to do so that they can become better and better and better at it. When we want to do something, at least I get this drive toward continuous improvement. I do something, I like it, I want to do it again, and then again and again and again until I get proficient and good and perfect at it. I don't believe that there's any such thing as perfect. I think that perfect is very subjective, just like beauty and intelligence and wisdom. It's all subjective, and on a comparative scale, right? It's all comparative and subjective. So I think we can practice though, and we can have practice moves that move us always in the direction we want to go in any area or aspect of our life. So that was our idiom today for supersize your business, which is kind of why I'm talking about it and thinking about it. It's been popular since the 1550s, 1560s. Back in the day, it took a long time for expressions to travel around, right? We weren't nearly as connected as we are now, especially with the internet. What used to take like 50 years to become popular and used in writing. Now, in a day, it can be a day or two. I can absolutely say there's certain words that now everybody uses every day that I had not even ever really recalled hearing until like this last year or so, like white privilege. I remember the word dude, and it was around for, came from California, the surfer dudes, right? And I remember telling my kids when they were little that I would never say dude, and I would never call anyone dude because I thought it was so ridiculous. And lo and behold, before they were even grown, I found myself calling them dude, which I try not to do anymore. Once in a while it slips out. I'll call one of my sisters that, and they get super offended. I'm like, hello, just an expression. It's like saying buddy. They don't like to be called buddy either, so I won't do that. But sometimes we just say things. I call my kids buddy sometimes, or dude. And it's interesting how quickly those different terms get adopted now, and how information spreads like crazy and so quickly. In a day or so, everybody, or millions and millions of people know about something that used to take, weeks for people to hear about or know about with traditional news sources, even with the newspapers and the television news. We thought TV was going to super speed up everything, which it did, but the internet has just done that, I don't know, 100-fold, 1,000-fold. So that's how we get communication out. It's just faster now. And so we have to be careful, right? I think we have to be careful what we say, and what we do and what we think, because it does impact us, even if we don't think it does. Like, practice makes perfect. I've heard that my entire life. Vince Lombardi, the coach, said, perfect practice makes perfect. And, we weren't really a football family, being all girls and just my dad. But my dad was a really good father and coach, and he coached us a lot on, there's no such thing as can't. Practice makes perfect, things like that. And I very much appreciate that and miss him. Our annual challenge this year, every year for this is the 4th year in a row, I've done a 365-day challenge for myself, a personal challenge. And the first one was to do one thing every day that stretched my comfort zone. And I had a little book that I found, because I was actually originally bought the book at the cabin I bought a copy for me and a copy for a friend of mine, because we were in a network marketing business together, and we were both scared to do stuff because the systems and the things that they teach you in certain network marketing organizations just feel bleh to me. It works for a lot of people, obviously works, but for me, it didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it was in alignment with me. And so I got us both this book, Do One Thing Every Day That Scares You, which is a precursor to this book. And every day I committed to myself that I would do a live video to wake up my voice and to get moving and to stretch my comfort zone, to make it so that I wasn't afraid to do live videos, because I was like everybody else. I don't think anybody, or hardly, there's, I'm sure a percentage of the population that wakes up and say, woo, live video, I'm going to make videos, I'm going to be famous. But the rest of us humans, we're like, yeah, I'm never making a video. It's never going to happen. And I was in that camp of, I am never, ever, 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 ever going to make a live video. And then, of course, I got, convinced over the course of it took about a year, I think, before I actually said I would, and actually did a video. And I did my first one there's a little beaver puppet back here right behind me. And I keep it behind me to remind me, or by me to remind me that, there's always a way to figure something out and do it, even if you're scared or nervous or inexperienced. And so I remember my first live video was with this puppet, and I called it Betsy. And I feel really bad because Betsy's my little sister's name, and she's an incredible person who supports me in so many ways and helps me out in so many ways, and calls me on my stuff because she's a psychology major. So she catches me doing stuff. She's like, really? Did you just say that? I'm like, yeah, sorry, I just did say that. So we can do anything. But this year is do one thing every day that centers you. And I think it's a good choice. Just like I think last year's do one fun thing every day was a perfect choice for last year. For 2020, at the beginning of the year, I didn't know it was going to be a perfect choice. I just wanted to have some more fun in my life. The year before that was do one thing every day that makes you happy, because I wanted more happiness and joy and lightness in my life. And this year, it's been a crazy year already. We're only on day 25. And so far, I don't know about you, but 2021 has just been kind of psychotic madness, right? So centering and getting to know myself better, I think, is a perfect choice for 2021. Now, I don't know what 2022 is going to bring. I'm sure I'll do another daily challenge just because it keeps me going in a time when there's a lot of chaos and uncertainty around all of us. I find that I have to have some daily practices, some certain routines and rituals that I follow every single day. And for me, doing one thing every day to focus on a key thing that I want in my life every day, just a teeny tiny bit for the year. And there's all kinds of things in here that I never would have come up with or thought of. Could I find something and look for something every single day on a topic, which is what I might need to do next year, because I think I'm running out of these little journal books. I think they've got one about creativity, which is a little bit challenging to do in video because it's a lot of drawing and physical tasks and activities. But next year might be the perfect year for me to jump on board and say, okay, I've done this for 4 years now. I'm absolutely ready to do some different things in terms of just reading a saying or a small, this is your action item for today, and actually doing a bigger thing with it. You know, maybe everybody gets the book and we do it together. I don't know. So far, it's just been optional, and it's worked for me, and it's helped me to make thousands of live videos, literally thousands. I looked at my Libsyn account, which is my podcast account, and I think that there's almost 4,000 videos in that, or audios in that, because my Libsyn is just a podcast, Pajama Grandma Podcast. I need to change that name, by the way. If anybody has an idea, hit me up in the comments below, because it's been the Pajama Grandma Podcast, and it's starting to get some traction now. So I don't know how to go about changing my branding and changing my name so I can just be me instead of having to be Pajama Grandma me. But I am a Pajama Grandma. Secretly, I have a Pajama Grandma robe on my lap, keeping me warm because I'm kind of chilly today. Some days it's winter here in Wisconsin. Some days I'm colder than others. All right, so today's was all about your nest, that mankind has people around them that support us, and they're our nest. Just like a bird has a nest to protect it and its babies, we have a nest. Just like a spider has a web to catch its food and to protect it, we have our own nest, and our nest is friendship. So who in your life is there to protect and support you, and that you can call on when you need them, that make you feel awesome and that support you no matter what? That's your nest. So that was fun. That was a fun take. Like I said, I would not have ever thought of comparing or thinking about the people that support me. I call them my bubble, my shield of protection. The people in my shield of protection, a nest, but it's a different way of looking at it. And so now I've got a more lighthearted, fun way of visualizing and thinking about that particular way of centering myself. All right, fun challenge. I've got my stack of, not fun challenge, Get Up and Go challenge, February 1st. Got my stack here from the previous challenges. Did 5 30-plus day challenges last year called Get Up and Go, which was perfect for 2020 because I don't know about you, but with all the uncertainty and all the craziness, I originally just thought, you know, hey, it's going to be 2 weeks, this too shall pass. And then 2 weeks before it was even close to over became the next 2 months. Then schools were shut down and everything was just instantly shut down and cut off. And I needed to find something to keep me going, and keep the people that I interact with getting up and going every single day. So did a couple challenges before that, before COVID hit, just how to do challenges, because I've been doing challenges for decades, and then rolled into Get Up and Go challenge. The first 30-day one was in April because we were going to be shut down for 30 days, and I'm like, all right, we need something to do every single day. And I was hanging out with my granddaughter because she hadn't started school, kindergarten. She started this past fall. She hadn't started school yet, and there was no school anyway. And so we wanted to get her out of daycare, so she came to me every day so her mom could work from home. And we had a great time, but that meant I had to find ways to do things early in the morning before she came at 7, and then in the evening after she left, like 6 or 7, depending on what time, you know, how long her mom had to work and stuff. So I had to find ways to keep moving forward during the crazy pandemic times, just like everybody else did. And that's what worked for me, and it worked so well that I've kind of made it my thing. I developed the SOAP framework, which is something that I've actually been doing personally for decades and helping other people do, people that work for me in corporate America, as well as people that worked in my businesses all along, and lots of different businesses. But I never had a name for it. And soap just seemed to be the perfect thing for 2020 because we were washing our hands and sanitizing our hands all the time. Now, I'd been in the food business for 35 years, so you'd think I would have thought about it sooner, because I always washed my hands like 30 times a day. I'd always have the just dry, cut fingers and those little finger cuts, because I was always washing my hands and using lotion, but it still wasn't enough. Every year, I'd get those little cuts, and I'd get my Next Care from 3M, and I'd be painting them. So then I'd have to wear gloves on the floor at work, so it was interesting. All right. That's what I got. That's what I'm talking about today. That's what I'm thinking about today. The Get Up and Go Challenge will be the focus of my work, plus my other work that I do normally today. But for the most part, that is what I'm excited about. I'm excited about doing it on February 1st. I hope you'll join me. It'll be on, guess what? The Get Up and Go Challenge Facebook page. And then we've got a private group where you can go, and actually in the private group, in the units in each of the units, I think we've got 8 units now. We've got all the content that we created last year for the Get Up and Go Challenge. So if you're curious, you can go and check those out. This one's going to be different, and that's what I'm working on today is what do I want to do to blow up what I did last year with the Get Up and Go Challenge and have it be more fun, more interactive, more entertaining, and more all about what really works for you to get up and go. I know it works for me to get up and go, but what will work for you? That's what we want to find. All right, have an amazing day. If I can help you in any way, if you've got any questions, just ask in the comments below or direct message me. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom. Have an amazing day. Bye. Awesome Monday.